Baltimore has a human violence problem. Letitia James is getting a dose of her own medicine. And Joe Scarborough supports Trump fixing Chicago. This is The Loaded Mic, and I'm Dan Was. For years, we've been shouting it from the rooftops. The issue isn't guns, it's violent maniacs, and yet many refuse to listen, likely because disarming their political opposition has been part of the left's playbook. The truth is that their focus on gun control is a deliberate attempt at disarming law-abiding citizens while allowing violent criminals to run rampant. Restricting access to firearms doesn't stop criminals from obtaining them. It only disarms those willing to follow the law, ultimately making good people vulnerable to violence. Let's take Baltimore, for example. In a recent announcement, Mayor Brandon Scott admitted that maybe, just maybe, it's time to focus on the criminals instead of the guns. His statement, made during an interview on MSNBC, came with the unveiling of a new comprehensive violence prevention plan. While the mayor still places the blame on so-called gun violence, he at least acknowledges that the role of human violence and that's an issue. It's a small step, but it's a step in the right direction.
Be laser focused on the small group of people who are doing the violence is insane. And what we're doing through our group violence reduction strategy is we first go to that small group of people who we've identified through data and using academia to help us see exactly who those people are. They get a letter from me as I know who you are. I know what you do. I want you to stay alive. The only way you're going to do that is to change your life. We will help you with housing. We will help you with education. We will relocate you. But if you do not adhere to what I am saying, we are coming to remove you from the neighborhood. And some have taken us up. Some people, I've met young men who said that they were in the street since they were 12 years old. And not until we came and knocked on their door did anybody say that they could be anything different. I've seen other folks who told me to go kick rocks, and now they're sitting in prison. We have to do that. We're focusing on growing our community violence intervention network, where we pay folks in programs like our Safe Chief program, people that I grew up with that used to shoot people, who now go out and intercede in that violence. Community organization. We've put $50 million into that ecosystem. Hospital-based responders, because where does everyone go again? They go to the hospital and have people there to respond to make sure that violence doesn't go even further.
But let's not rush to give Scott too much credit just yet. This change in tone comes after intense pressure from both local citizens and pro-Second Amendment advocates who are demanding blue state officials uphold their oath and defend the Bill of Rights. Now, Scott's newfound focus on addressing criminal behavior is likely a political move, one that acknowledges the mounting frustrations of his constituents who are fed up with the same old song and dance from politicians who refuse to hold criminals accountable. Now, don't let this poor excuse for a mayor fool you. He's been in office for 5 years, and Baltimore has been a disaster ever since. Now, he's been a strong supporter of the racist BLM group and made it a point to attend nearly every protest. Now, what's truly ironic about this situation is that Mayor Scott's administration continues to boast about the success of his lawsuit against Polymer 80, a company that manufactures parts for firearms. But the lawsuit had little to no impact on reducing crime in Baltimore. The city's already slight downward crime trajectory since the 2020 left-wing riots was largely the result of increased police presence and better community policing, not restricting firearms or firearm manufacturers or firearm parts manufacturers. Yet the mayor continues to pretend that suing a parts manufacturer is the real solution to violence in the city. Now, the truth is, crime in Baltimore couldn't get much worse. While police efforts were underway, the mayor was busy pushing gun control measures that did nothing to address the root of the violence, the criminals themselves. Baltimore, with some of the strictest gun laws in the country, remains one of the most violent cities in America. If gun control truly worked, Baltimore should be a model of peace and tranquility. Yet the reality is far from that. When a city like Baltimore has exhausted every possible gun law and still sees rampant violence, the only logical conclusion is that gun laws are not the solution to stop human violence. The criminals must be held accountable, and the law-abiding citizens must not be punished for the failures of their government. So we're going to talk about this and many other things with, he's not controversial, he just says things others disagree with, John Chiara. And he is controversial, but he just doesn't care. Anthony Diesel.
That's legal, right?
Who writes this stuff?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Some white dude behind the wall.
Some
White dude behind the wall with $1,000 budget. That's what's going on.
There it is.
There's the budget. We're able to do the show on a $1,000 budget. I wish. Well, that would be great. Anyway, so I wanted to get you guys' opinion on this. So this clown of a mayor, he comes out and says, because of so-called gun violence, we have to implement this new policy. Well, the policy, here's the ironic thing about the policy. It's a decree. They call it a police decree or something like that, where the DOJ actually investigates the police department and says, look, these are the areas that you're failing. So that's part of the reason why they're now focused on human issues, because, frankly, they have to. They're running out of stuff. What are your thoughts?
Well, that makes sense. I mean, right? That all makes sense. Should have done it 10 years ago, probably, but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. So what's going on in Baltimore now? Anything different than it has been? The numbers are down?
Well, the numbers are slightly down, but this is the thing. Yeah, I love it when the Democrats get all excited and they go into the media and say, crime numbers are down. Does everyone remember where the crime was in 2020? It was they were burning the city to the ground. It couldn't get any worse. So in other
They
words,
go back just far enough where the highest number is and then go forward and say, look how far we got the numbers down.
we did it. I mean, we had no other direction to go but down. So slightly, it has been over the past 4 or 5 years, it's been slightly decreasing. There was a lawsuit against Polymer 80, which is the parts company. And apparently Polymer 80 lost with respect to the fact that they can't sell their product in Maryland now. So that is what the mayor is saying is part of the reason that crime is going down.
He's a moron.
He thinks that's where they're getting their guns from, is because of that company selling.
They went and knocked on the door and said, hey, I'm going to need a...
But they use it, See, because he went on in that. There's another interview where he goes, "We won against we sued Polymer 80 and all this stuff," and he's touting that as a big success. Really? That's why crime has slightly gone down since the riots of 2020?
Guarantee you that one of those criminals knows what Polymer 80 is.
I can guarantee you none of those guns that were used in the crime have anything from that company on it.
Exactly. They're all smuggled guns.
Exactly.
Right?
They're all just... Oh, I'm sorry. Ghost guns. It's just Democrats or something.
Well, there's a lot of misunderstanding. I mean, this last week or so, I've had a couple interactions with people who really don't understand anything about.
I know what you're talking about.
So, my big point last couple of days was this person was saying about how, I bet the police will really like it if you got people out there running around. Everybody's got a handgun with them and this and that. And my response was, when you get shot, there's never a policeman there, ever,
right?
Until they're called, and then it's too late,
and then you're either dead or in the hospital.
That
or whatever.
Basic idea doesn't seem to get through, no matter what.
No.
It's just
And what they don't understand, these knuckleheads, is that where there's more gun control laws, there's typically more violence,
right?
And they don't want to be the one to be a victim, and if they are, they're gonna pray to God while they're peeing their pants that somebody there with a gun will save them.
Exactly.
This is the liberal mindset. They can stand on the soapbox and push all the liberal progressive ideas until they're the victim.
That's why I asked you about Scott's name yesterday.
Who?
The guy, the guy that got this church shooter there years ago, we had him on the show. What's his last name?
Oh, Stephen Williford.
Stephen Williford.
Yeah.
Right. Because, this other person was saying, oh, well, these kids were all shot in a Catholic school and this and that and, blah, blah, blah. You don't want people with guns running around. I'm like, well, Google this guy. What happened? He probably stopped who knows how many people from getting killed.
Right.
Because he was there with the gun, willing to step up and do what he had to do.
Yeah. I happen to know Stephen. He's a great guy. We had a long conversation at the GOA event in Knoxville just about a month ago. Great guy, fantastic guy, and he just did what he thought he should do. He ran out of the house barefoot with his AR to chase down this killer to stop
in the snow, uphill.
But yeah, both ways.
Well, that takes guts to do that, right?
Yeah.
You need people like that to step up when it's right in the moment and the situation is happening. That's what matters. So all this other stuff about, if we sue this company and they don't make this part, they don't sell it in our state, that's going to save that person's life over there. I'm like,
It has nothing to do with
illogical.
That lawsuit saved 0 lives. It had nothing to do with anything except more liberal, progressive BS trying to come down on manufacturers. See, they know that they can't. There's a couple things. First of all, we have the Second Amendment, which says we have the right to keep and bear arms. But secondly, we have a thing called the PLCAA, the Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act. And what that does is it protects manufacturers, firearm manufacturers, from lawsuits where people might use their product in a harmful way or an illegal way. It doesn't necessarily protect them from manufacturer suits because, maybe if there's a manufacturer defect or something like that, it might not protect them from that. But it protects them from being liable for the actions of other human beings. Right. And that's the one thing that the liberals, they hate that law they hate that so much because they know that they can't get to those manufacturers. Because they think that if they can get to the manufacturers and they can put them out of business, they can win the Second Amendment debate or win the gun rights debate or whatever it is that they're fighting for. Well, to disarm their political opposition is really what they're doing. So this lawsuit, this Polymer 80 lawsuit, they look at it as a huge win, a success. I'm surprised, and I'm not sure what the status is of it right now, but we'll look into that. We'll talk about that another day. But that's just a way for them to claim that they are victorious. And
it's the same stupid arguments, though, over and over and over again.
Yes.
And they'll cherry pick every possible thing, and then when you show them an example, they're like, oh, you're cherry picking. Well, because when you're getting shot by somebody, that's pretty much a cherry-picked incident, right? It's not normal.
Right.
It's way out of the ordinary. So that's where this all matters, is inside of that situation, not, regular kids walking down the street at noontime. That's not what we're worried about.
I also saw some left-wing newscaster talking about how the majority of killings they were talking about specifically school and these church shootings.
Red states.
Yeah, well, they're saying that it's all, it's not transgender people. And the truth is, when you take out the gang violence and the suicides, and you really focus in, and Sebastian Gorka he said it great. You got to find that clip. He said that when you take that out, if we're specifically talking about school and church shootings, the majority is trannies. There's something wrong with these people.
That's weird, right? That's obviously a problem with the person.
Yeah. Jeez. But they're trying, right now, the left is trying to protect the mental deficiencies of trannies and the gender dysphoria and all that stuff. They're trying to do everything they can to protect them, when really they should be, let's start talking about what's wrong with them and maybe try to help them, because we are compassionate people and we can't have them killing children.
Well, they want them to.
Well, that's the other side. You're right.
The Democrats thrive off of this. And you see how fast that left the news?
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It was there for a day. As soon as they found out it was a training.
Yep.
Now, if that was a conservative, Trump supporter,
Rosie O'Donnell apologized. You hear it?
Oh, because she originally said it was a white guy.
What MAGA guy said
Said it
it.
was a
And then
MAGA
she came
guy.
on and said, I made a mistake, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't see the apology.
I didn't see it. I heard it on some website.
well, good for her. Maybe she's waking up.
Oh, I doubt it.
Scum.
I think she's waking. I think she was forced to apologize. That was, I mean, that's
She
just.
lives in Ireland. We don't care.
I don't. I could care less about Rosie O'Donnell.
Why would they want her there?
You want to know who's fighting for your gun rights, though? Gun Owners of America. GOA is the no compromise gun rights group, so I urge you to become a member at gunowners.org. What have they done? Well, GOA has secured a preliminary injunction against the ATF pistol brace rule. GOA members submitted a record 85,000 plus comments opposing the ATF's universal registration check rule. They helped enact permitless carry in Nebraska and Florida, and GOA secured victories in California, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Plus, they won 2 legal victories against the ATF's zero-tolerance policy, and GOA fought to overturn Joe Biden's ban on funding hunter education, shooting sports, and archery in schools. So with the constant attacks on our Second Amendment, we often ask ourselves, what can I do about it? This is what you can do. Become a member at gunowners.org and help us save the Second Amendment. So anyway, anything else on that, you guys?
No, he's a moron.
Who?
The mayor of Baltimore
Oh, Baltimore mayor.
and Chicago.
God, what a freaking knucklehead.
These Democrat politicians don't care about the people. There was 58 people shot and 9 dead in Chicago over the weekend.
Never hear about that. Who cares?
You don't
Where's
hear about
Moms Against Gangs? Where are they?
Yeah.
Stupid. People they're just
And their
virtue
solution
signaling
is
nonsense.
taking guns away from law-abiding citizens. That's
There's a problem over there. Okay, let's go over here and we'll
That
punish,
right there
punish
just-
these people over here, and then we'll leave those people alone. Because
that right there just tells you they're mentally unstable. It doesn't even make it. Listen to how stupid it sounds.
It sounds very stupid. And then when they run out of gun laws, like what was the one? Oh, like New York City, where the guy he
Drove across the country.
and he broke every single New York gun law there is, and he went up and started killing people. So what is your girl?
Rat face gets on TV. We got to ban AR-15s.
And-
you're a moron.
And she's saying it's nationwide because of surrounding or other states.
That's the Chicago argument all the time.
So they literally blame other states where the crime didn't occur for the crime that occurred in their state. So ridiculous. But people, I'm telling you, there are stupid people who go, oh, yeah, well, that makes sense.
Did you hear the good news? Nadler's retiring next
Yeah, I
year.
heard that.
Dirty scumbag.
Oh,
He was your favorite.
Humpty Dumpty. He looks
Now
like
we just need Chuck Schumer to get the hell out of office because he's another dirtbag spreading all kinds of lies. He is, I tell you.
he's desperate.
The dookie must just flow out of his ears and just surround him because he's so full of garbage.
Oh, he is so full of garbage. He has
Oh,
no.
the big beautiful bill is this, that. But shut the hell up. They're closing hospitals everywhere. Have you heard of a hospital closing?
I haven't seen it.
Have you?
I heard of a veterinary clinic closing.
Well-
just this week, but yeah.
Maybe Schumer should go there and protest
There
that.
you go.
It's just Trump's fault.
These poor puppies.
These dogs didn't vote for this.
Well, speaking of ridiculous Democrats, here's an article from federalcharges.com. Letitia James and Adam Schiff, mortgage fraud. Special prosecutor Ed Martin leads a historic probe. Dramatic escalation of federal scrutiny into alleged misconduct by high-ranking public officials. Special prosecutor Ed Martin has been appointed to lead what legal observers are calling the most extensively documented mortgage fraud case in modern political history. The investigation centers on New York Attorney General. Whose girl is she?
Not mine.
It's John's girl, Letitia
John's
James.
I heard her today on some clip. Oh, but
She is something.
awful.
And California Senator Adam Schiff. Now,
Who still have jobs, by the
pencil
way.
neck Schiff. Both of whom face allegations of falsifying mortgage documents to obtain preferential loan terms on multiple properties. I could go into all the details, but I'll give you some bullet points. The Brooklyn property misrepresentation by Letitia James, false identity claims where she reported her father as a cosigner and I guess husband. Virginia expansion, which was where she claimed her permanent residence was in Virginia, or when she was really had to live in New York, so she had kind of two primary
She's
residence.
special.
Allegations against Schiff claimed that the Maryland home as his primary residence for mortgage purposes, while simultaneously listing a California condominium also as his main home for tax filings.
How do they think they're going to get away with this stuff? It's just
But they will.
Well, I agree.
They will.
I guess they probably will. You're right.
I guarantee you nothing happens to either one of them.
Well, I hope you're wrong
because
about
she
that.
should be disbarred from ever practicing law again, and he should not be senator right now. But he still has a job. Even if he gets convicted, he'll still have a job. And
It's kind of amazing because he was all over Trump.
right. But like I said, because they know nothing's going to happen to them. That's why they do what they do. Neither one of them will see jail time. They'll get fined, and they'll still keep their job.
If there was ever a chance of them
That was
seeing,
me or you?
well, I know.
See ya.
But if there was ever a chance of them seeing jail time, now would be it, right? Now would be it
Not gonna happen.
with Trump in office.
Even with Trump in
She
office.
should get jail time for the way she spoke on this freaking clip that I saw. It was unbelievable.
What?
She shifted into, I don't even know how to describe what dialect she shifted into, from speaking about something somewhat normally to turning
You
into.
talking about Letitia James or Croc?
Which one was it? I thought it was James.
You're talking about Crockett.
I'm talking about
Crockett doing her ghetto slang?
Yeah, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's-
I just assumed
She
it was.
does. I don't even know how she still has a job and how she got voted in.
I don't know if she knows how to write. Like, how
No,
do you
she's an
speak
idiot.
that way? It's just
She's
terrible.
She's a DEI extraordinaire.
What
But
you
she's
is,
dumb.
what she's going
What you
for.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the first thing I heard. I'm
dumb.
like, what did she just say? And then she went on and on and on.
She's a hallway hood
That
rat.
you is. That you is. I think she's something crazy. It's so hysterical
Her
that
inner ebonics came out.
There's one guy
Is
in
it
the
even
video
called
behind her going, yeah, behind her real loud.
that's the thing. Who is she? Who is she?
I don't even.
Playing
I
to
heard it on Crowder
when she does that.
I couldn't see.
Is she playing to the ghetto? Because that's what she's talking like. Is that the people she's trying to recruit?
That's her real persona. That fake persona was what got her elected.
But you saw the contrast where she's speaking very proper when she was being elected to Congress,
She was speaking to her people.
and then now she talks like a ghetto rat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Do they not vote and she needs more ghetto votes or something? Or what's the deal?
I don't know how anyone can vote for her. What the hell is she hasn't done anything for her constituent. No Democrat has done anything.
Either she lost her seat already because of the Texas redistricting, or she's about to. I'm not sure where we're at with that right now.
That would be the best thing that ever happened to Texas because she's just pure trash.
Oh, she is. She is a trash bag. She's a trash bag, all right.
Oh, there was people online we're talking about the Muslims taking office in all these different states, and I'm like, do people not see what they're doing? They're moving their people into the community.
Sure.
That's what happened with Tlaib.
Yeah.
Ilya Omar. They moved their Muslim counterparts into their town, and those people overrun the Americans and vote them in. Yeah. It's gonna happen when we're just sitting back and letting it happen.
See, Omar, I heard today that her income went up like 3,000%.
She's $30 million.
$30 million from last year.
And she only makes $220,000 a year.
There needs to be investigations into how.
Aren't you curious? I mean, when I hear something like that, I'm like,
Well,
it may not be true, but
And she's a brother humper.
Curious.
one of my companies was audited, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? You're auditing this company? We've been right on the books for forever. We have done nothing out of." And this was a bunch of years back, and if they're auditing one of my companies, why in the world wouldn't there be audits on her? Like, where's this income coming from? You know?
I think the auditors have a quota. They have to do a certain number of audits every year, and they randomly pick people. Well, let's go do this guy. But they're not motivated by actual stuff that should be taken care of on a large scale like that. That stuff matters.
Like Nancy Pelosi, she's worth like $350 million. You could never make that in a lifetime at her salary. You could never.
Her husband's NVIDIA investments. Wish I got on that in time.
I got my NVIDIA.
I got it.
years ago.
Mine's up 50, 60%, at least just since last year. Yeah. So, but still, back in the day, it's like buying Bitcoin at a quarter.
Well, that's what
That
happens.
was
when
worth
you have
$100,000.
inside trading. It's easy to do when you inside
I
trade.
know. I just should have followed him, though. That's the thing. Anyway, yeah.
Well, let me get to Cali Key. I want to tell people about Cali Key. This device, the Cali Key, removes your AR from the definition of so-called assault weapon. Did you know that when these so-called assault weapon ban lists are created, they exclude manually operated bolt-action firearms? So just by dropping this Cali Key into your direct impingement AR in place of your semi-automatic BCG, you will have a bolt-action rifle that falls outside the definition of assault weapon. You don't need to do anything else. So give the Cali Key a look, because with it, you could retain all your rifle's features, avoid registration complications, revive your black rifle sales as an FFL, regain the ability to do private party transfers, legally transport across hostile jurisdictions, hunt with your AR in areas like Pennsylvania, enhance long-range precision and quiet or suppressed shooting. Cali Key has state-specific expert attorney opinions on its website and supports grassroots Second Amendment organizations with its sales. Cali Key's mission is to empower customers and claw back our civil liberties. So go to calikey.com and use the discount code LOADED. And while we're at it, I wanted to make a mention of our new network that we are on called Spreely. Spreely.com, if people want to check that out. Spreely is a new network. I look at it kind of like similar to like a Pluto or something like that. They live stream a lot of different news shows. Newsmax 2 was on there and a couple others. And there's a bunch of great podcasts on there. And the Loaded Mic is now on Spreely.com. So go check it out. We're proud and happy to be on there. Also, our friends, just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at San Diego County Gun Owners. Good guys over there. Check them out. I'm wearing the shirt today. And so that's that. Now, what else do we have in the news? Because there's so much stuff. This was interesting how, the left is always calling us racist, right?
I know.
It's such a joke because they're actually the racist ones. And
I know.
It's just so funny. But they showed their racism yet again. This time, a supporter of Democrat candidate for Virginia governor, Abigail Spanberger, held up a sign that said, you're not going to believe this. If you haven't seen this already, you're not going to believe this. If trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my water fountain, she said. That's what the sign said. There it is. Now, just look at that for a minute.
I think while her hands are up, we should walk and slap her right in the face.
Well, what?
How racist is that?
How could it not be racist? Because I'm sure she had an argument how she's not racist, but it literally says, if trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my bathroom. And this is a supporter of, like I said, Abigail Spanberger, and she's running for, she's a Democrat, of course, she's a Democrat, running for Virginia governor. I think, do we have a clip? I think we have a clip, too.
Thank you. Okay, apologies. Next speaker, please.
Now, if you hold that clip one more time, because we'll want to replay it in a second. He's telling her that clip is getting a lot of attention and it's negative. And watch her response right after he says that. She doesn't care.
Thank you. Okay, apologies. Next speaker, please.
See what she said? Yeah. What the hell, right? She didn't seem to care.
We need to talk to these people in person. Come here. Let me talk to you.
They just, I don't think they can hide their racism anymore.
Well,
we're starting to see these
and
Freudian slips.
We see that, and I hate to generalize, too. I had a good personal conversation with somebody this week who's...
Oh, there's the Virginia. Sorry to interrupt you, John.
Look at that puppet.
There's the Virginia candidate. Can we bring her back up?
Daphne's a soda cracker.
She's the one running for governor, and apparently her supporters are starting to show their racism. But go ahead, John.
Well, first of all, it reminded me there's some Senate or congressional seat in Virginia that's open, and they now have a Republican running for it. Somebody gave it up. They've been there 16 years. I can't think of the name.
Yep.
I just heard it on the way over.
I remember hearing. I can't.
And so that was something that people should be aware of, that people need to go out and vote in Virginia for this Republican candidate in this district that's right outside of
Richmond. Richmond is the capital. I think Richmond is the capital.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Anyway, the racism is coming out.
Oh, the racism. Well, I had a one-on-one with someone who said, hey, he says, you see, you got some stuff going on social media that I'm afraid to get involved in because I'm afraid I'm going to get pounced on. But he's definitely left of center. And I'm like, okay. He says, you seem to be pretty logical about this stuff. But he says, but some Republicans are okay, but the rest of them are all this other stuff. And I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
How many do you know?
That's what it's MSNBC, and
it's the assigned opinion crap. It's just, I don't want to feel that way about people on the left either. This is why when I get to talk to somebody in person, it's great. Like, yeah, we're not that far apart on stuff.
There might be some people on the left that are still reasonable, but I don't see them. I don't see many of them. But I'm willing to listen.
Yeah, that's what I said. Tell me your story. I want to hear it. I want to know what's going on. Why do you believe what you believe? Fill me in.
I understand how some of them believe some of these social issues are important and we need to, respect certain. I understand the perspective they're coming from, but when you get right down to it and you look at the results of their policies, it's just all bad.
Well, this was my argument with somebody the other day. Well, how come if Trump says this and says that, how can you support him? I says, you know what I do? I don't listen to what he says. I just wait and see what he does.
Yeah.
Takes all the guesswork out. I don't have to be opinionated on a day-to-day basis and fighting with you over something that neither one of us have any control over. A week down the line, well, this tariff produced this. Okay, that's a good thing. Next, But they're so caught up in that day-to-day. It's just like they think that there's some kind of they're doing a civic service or something. It's really strange.
We got to go to a quick break, but we got so much more to talk about. We're going to get into Chicago and a whole bunch of other stuff, so stick around right after this.
The Cali Key removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon. It lets you keep your rifle with all its features, avoid registration hassles, and transport in hostile jurisdictions. The Cali Key also lets you hunt in jurisdictions like Pennsylvania and enhances long-range precision shooting. Cali Key's expert legal opinions empower informed decisions, and sales help grassroots Second Amendment organizations. Cali Key is your tool to keep and equip your AR, empower yourself, and defend your civil rights.
Our founding fathers saw them coming over 200 years away. That's why they wrote the Second Amendment. Join us in the fight to preserve your gun rights and stop unconstitutional gun control. Gun Owners of America is the country's only no-compromise gun rights organization. Not only do we inform and educate, but we bring the fight to court and win. Your God-given right to keep and bear arms is our top priority. Become a member today and help us take back America. Join us at gunowners.org. All right, so I want to take you through somewhat of a timeline of Chicago, what's going on there with President Trump talking about bringing in federal policing to fix some of the crime and violence like he did in D.C., which has been a total success. First, here's an article from New York Post. Trump rethinks sending feds to the killing field, Chicago, after the mayor resists. He wanted to be asked.
Who's the mayor there now?
The mayor for Chicago is, what's his name? Why can't I think of his name?
It's moron.
Brandon Johnson.
Ah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Trump didn't want, he wanted to be asked because I think Trump innocently thinks that these people will come around and understand logic. No.
Because they don't want to be proven wrong that their city is a garbage can.
Yeah.
That's why.
I know.
Look at D.C. It's all cleaned up. But you notice they're not talking to the inner city people? They're talking to the stupid white liberals.
Oh, right.
Who live up on the suburbs, who don't deal with the crime. So let's talk to the stupid white liberals, but let's not go into the actual ghetto and talk to the people who are dealing with the murders and shootings every night.
Yep.
We don't want to do that.
Some people have actually talked to those people.
I read a
been
Fox thing where
And they
had
tell
to
you
go.
they're happy.
Yeah, and they say
I can drive around my windows down at night.
One guy was saying he could walk with his kids.
Girls like I can ride my scooter at midnight and not get shot at.
Yeah.
Scooters.
It's no good, John. It's no good, John.
Anyway, at first President Trump was leaning toward not deploying federal forces to fight crime into Chicago. Said he doesn't want to barge in on a city and then be treated horribly by corrupt politicians. So we had that little time period, and then we move on to, as we start going further, a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and D.C. starts to be showing some progress. So there's another article here where Morning Joe Scarborough, urges defiant Chicago Dems to allow Trump to send National Guard after the bloody Labor Day weekend. So here you got liberal Joe Scarborough, right? Asking, saying, okay, what's wrong with you Democrats? You're acting like a bunch of idiots. It's time we do something about this. And so when you finally get the liberals to come on board and say, okay, maybe Trump has a point here, right? That's when the progressives hate that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's when they start.
Because in their mind, again, this is back to the one issue crap that we hear all the time. Well, if Trump says this and you think that's a bad thing, does that mean you're not going to support Trump anymore? And I'm like, is that how you think it works? For them, it does, right? It's all top down. They accepted Biden for whatever he did or didn't do. I don't even know how you can have accepted him for 4 years without any excuses or any reasoning or anything else, and then justify you attacking somebody else over, well, Trump said this and Trump said that. At least he said something.
Yeah.
Liberals are just vile people. I mean, look what's
They're
going
vile.
on. They're vile.
Well,
We don't cry like they do when someone loses. We don't go out and burn cities and loot and steal.
You know what it is? It's so sad because you make a point, because there are some very vile,
They are
disgusting liberals. Some of the stuff that they're doing.
Tim Walz.
Oh,
Well, maybe Trump will be dead tomorrow. What? Who? What?
But I think it all comes from a brainwashing. It
is.
stems from this mass brainwashing.
It's a cult.
It is a cult.
Way more of a cult than anything in any other direction.
Right.
I think Tim just might be mentally ill, like for real, like mentally ill.
Well, maybe, but John's talking about cults, and you could compare
they're
it
definitely
to
a cult.
Scientology and
Just
stuff.
keep believing stuff and believing stuff and believing stuff, and with no possible way of reasoning your way out of any part of that. That's why they look at us and go, how do you reason your way out of this when Trump said this, blah, 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 and it must mean this because I know what Trump thinks in his inner head thoughts and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what world do these people live in? They're living in a bubble.
Well, I think there's a couple components. Number one, they are taught that they could never be brainwashed. They're taught that the other side is brainwashed. So if you believe that you could never be brainwashed, that's a great component to have when you're actually brainwashing somebody, right? And then the other thing is they're also taught at the same time that they're morally superior because they're doing the right thing and those Republicans are all bad. And they're also taught that they're intellectually superior because they go to the best colleges and all this stuff. So they've got all these components. The Democrats were pretty brilliant when they implemented all these components into the brainwashing of their supporters.
Yep.
Like I said, morally superior, that means I'm doing the right thing. I'm a good person.
Right.
Intellectually superior means I can't be wrong. If I was to admit that I was wrong and I already believe that I'm intellectually superior to everyone else, I got to change that would crush my whole character.
Destroy your life.
And then, like I said, what was the other one? Anyway, I forgot.
The third one.
Yeah.
They're all graduates of scumbaggery.
Believing that you can't be brainwashed.
Right.
So.
Well, and this is the thing, too. I mean, and this goes back to the basic idea of the Gell-Mann amnesia thing, where the physicist was watching things in the news and reading articles about his field of expertise, and he's like, 90% of these are wrong.
Yeah.
So why would I assume that everything else that's written by other people is correct? It doesn't make any sense. That's how they look at the world. They look at the world where, like, everything I do is right.
Yeah.
There's no way that anything could possibly be wrong here in what I'm thinking because I believe this with my heart and my soul. I can't explain why, but I do believe it.
And the thing they don't understand, I think, about conservatives is that they think we just follow Trump along and do whatever he says. That it's actually the opposite of
Have
that.
you listened to any podcasts in the last 2 weeks? They're ripping them to shreds.
We're very
arguing
critical.
about things right and left, just the way it should be, right? Healthy argument back and forth.
We're very critical of him.
Absolutely.
Conservatives are always saying, I wish he didn't say that. That was a little off.
Yeah.
It was whatever. Yeah. But we also understand when he does something good, which is something that the Democrats can't see. they're trained to not be able to see any good out of Trump or Republicans or MAGA. Right. MAGA is a fantastic movement. It's the best movement that this country, I think, has ever had, at least in 100 years.
I agree.
And
the people that know about how things actually work and how to get things done and create things all agree with that.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees with that.
when you're talking about all sorts of, you're talking about a safe border, you're talking about capitalism.
Talk about energy, talking about AI, talking about cryptocurrency, talking about all kinds of stuff. All the people that know what's going on are all saying, this is a good thing. Now good things can happen in the United States. Because for years, like as far as cryptocurrency and stuff, there was no way for anything to happen on shore because there was no format for it to exist within. Now there is. So now all these people that have been who knows where can come back here, and all that industry and all that wealth can come back to the country. That's Trump's basic idea in a lot of these areas, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if even a portion of it works, why is it a bad thing? What's horrible about that?
Because the Democrats didn't think of it.
Yeah, they won't get.
They never would.
Well,
They
won't
never
get-
would because they're all for themselves. They don't care. Democrats do not care about the people of the America. They don't. They care about themselves.
They just want to tear down everything.
They want
That's
to,
what think
they
is-
want to take our guns. They want to put us in chains. That's why I was just telling your stupid friend on Facebook there. I won't say his name because I want to go to where he lives and punch him in the mouth.
Bennett's conjoined twin.
He's an idiot. And I put up the perfect meme that says gun control only works for the people in control of the guns. And I told him, I said, in Nazi Germany, I said, you probably don't even know what happened to the Jews. They were the only people targeted for their weapons. German Jews were the only ones targeted to have their weapons taken away. And then where'd they go? To the oven.
Yeah.
I said, so if you want to be the first scumbag in line for the oven in the train car, you go right ahead, but we ain't going to let that happen.
And you notice that idiots like this that you're talking about, I don't know who this person is, but
John
Not
knows-
not a stupid person.
well,
well,
okay,
he's
maybe
stupid
not.
in the sense that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking
That's the
about.
best part of the problem. Sometimes they're very intelligent, but
Well, this is
when
the
it comes to
same-
common
He
sense,
doesn't have common sense.
I've been getting arguments lately that are right akin to the argument that I got earlier this year, where we're like, I can't comment on energy prices in Germany because I've never been to Germany.
yeah. Well, but they feel like they can comment, like Anthony's talking about, on guns, and they ban all
Well,
whatever.
that's his whole argument. Just take all the guns away.
Take them all away.
Then crime will go away. because the criminals are just going to say, here, bro, here's my gun I stole last week. I'm good.
And the problem with these people, like this guy you're talking about, is that they can most of the time they can get away with saying these things because they will never be the victim of a violent crime. They're most often live a relatively safe
But
life.
maybe he needs to be
Well, that's the
victim
thing.
of a crime.
As soon as they,
Maybe you should get clubbed like a baby seal.
as soon as they are, then they change. Maybe they change.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he might be too stupid to change.
He
I
might-
think it may take a few clubbings, but yeah, maybe a carjacking, maybe a shot in the leg.
It's just that they can't put themselves in other
A
people's
carjacking or a shot in the leg.
because they always think that can't happen to me.
Right. Exactly.
or the police will prevent it.
Oh yeah, because we all have our own personal police protection.
Help! I'm getting attacked, and the cop instantly shows up.
Yeah, he's like teleported like Star Trek. Bing. What do you need, sir? He's gonna shoot me.
Help! Cop shows up. That quick.
Like what is that? What's the insurance one?
State Farm.
Like a good neighbor. I think the cop is there. Yeah, I tell you, the guy. I mean, he can be as smart as he wants,
Well, unfortunately, this
but he's
knucklehead, whoever
stupid
he
on
is,
normal, everyday stuff.
he
I mean,
may
really.
he may find himself in a situation where he.
I hope not, but maybe that's what he needs to show. 'Cause maybe,
The thing of it is that they appear like they can't even imagine that situation.
Yeah.
Like, can't you imagine? Here I am. Somebody's coming at me with a knife or a baseball bat or a gun. Where's the cop? Who's protecting me? What am I supposed to do in that situation? I'm
You're
supposed
dead.
to not be able to protect myself because you think something other than what's actually going on here? Because this is the situation that matters, right? It's not all those other situations that you think are a certain way, and if you take all the guns away, crime will go away, all these nonsensical, anti-human nature, logical perspectives that they have on stuff. It's just, and I don't know how you talk them out of that. That's the hard part.
Well, I guess you can try to show him some statistics. So here's a chance for me to give a few statistics here. FBI data shows that there are 1.2 million violent acts per year reported. That's only the ones reported. So you can imagine there's probably a lot more than 1.2 million. And then we have the 3 studies. We have the Georgetown University, we have CDC, and we have the Gary Kleck study that show 2.5 million, up to 2.5 million defensive gun uses per year.
End of story, right? That should be the end of the story.
Look at it. 2/3 of the violent attacks are being stopped because the potential victim had a gun.
Even if it was a way smaller percentage, it's still better than anything that any of these people are trying to advocate.
He was trying to say that there's more people killed by guns than drunk driving. I said, now you're...
Oh, you're wrong.
Did he?
He's wrong. Oh, you're right.
He's right. He said, I said, you are all wrong, bro. I said, so basically your logic is telling me that I should blame the car for killing someone when I was drunk driving. So I could just say my 97 Horizon killed Johnny. I had nothing to do with it. That's what they're saying about the gun. You're saying that the assault rifle killed somebody. It's not. It's an object until we pick it up. I could take my gun out right now and set it here the whole time. It ain't going to hurt any of us unless one of us picks it up.
They love to...
But they can't grasp that logic.
No, they love to talk about this so-called gun violence, which doesn't exist. It's human violence, but they love to talk about gun. They love to associate it with the number of gun-related deaths. But the problem with that is you got to take out the suicides. You take out suicides, and that's 60% of the gun-related deaths gone. So you're down to, 11 to 14,000.
But then people like him will say, well, if we took the gun away, then those 60% wouldn't have died. They're going to find a way, stupid. So if they took pills...
If you're going to commit suicide...
You're going to do it. You jump
way.
off a building. Are we going to take buildings down? We only build 1 stories.
Well, not only that, but what happens to all those... What happens to those 2.5 million defensive gun uses
They don't care.
that would have been enacted?
They don't care about those people.
They don't care.
Well, that's going to make the violence even go higher. Because
it's
right
gonna
off
be
the bat,
right.
if you disappeared all the legal guns tomorrow, we guarantee violence would go up through the city.
Oh, God.
Criminals
People
would
be getting
it would
robbed
be a
on the
free
street.
for all. Be a free for all.
Yeah.
It'd be a free for all on law-abiding citizens from criminals. It'd
be like
and
the
the cops would
purge.
not be able to stop it.
And the most annoying thing about all of this is that we have these idiot liberals fighting against this common sense and this logic. This is logic. What we're talking about here is numbers. It makes sense, and it's logical to be able to defend yourself because crime, and like John said, you take those away, crime goes up and whatever. But they're fighting us on it.
They can't, because back to what you said way before, they're convinced that they have the morally superior position.
And
And
it'll
if
never
you
happen
don't
to
agree with them, then you're part of the problem. When in reality, you are not part of the problem. The problem is the way over there, other people who you don't want to, these guys don't want to look at and deal with. They're the ones that are causing all the trouble. Think again, where's Moms Against Gangs? How many people get killed every single week and we never hear anything about it? We just dismiss those kids. It's insanity.
Well, that's what I was even gonna get to the gang. So you take like the 35 to 40,000
Suicides.
gun-related deaths, and you take the suicides out, you're down to about 11 to 14.
Take the gangs
then
out.
you take the gangs out of that, you're down to a very small number, and most of those are law enforcement related. In other words, good guys killing bad guys in the line of duty. Right. The actual amount of firearm homicide by civilians is very small when you take out gangs.
And then and that's what I try to tell people. It's like we live in a country of 320 million?
30.
I think
How many
we're
law
up to more.
enforcement
Yeah,
officers are there? There's not that many. Think about it.
how many are there? I just heard that.
I think
today.
there's like a million.
A million, I
Not
think.
even.
Yeah.
So think about that. We could literally overrun the country in no time. Even with the military, there's not enough of them. We're law-abiding people. That's just That's just how we're wired. Criminals don't listen to law. They don't care. So instead of targeting the people who are the problem, they're targeting me and you and you.
Because we're their political opposition. They don't want us to have guns. They want control.
We're not going out and killing people, though.
Well, they know that they can't have control over us as long as we have firearms.
Good.
That's what our forefathers wanted.
That
was the whole point of the Second Amendment.
That's
If
why
you
they
let
wrote it.
Government take your look at any country that doesn't have guns. Look what Australia did during COVID. They went into your house and dragged you outside
China.
and beat you, and China did it.
Wasn't China welding doors to keep people in their homes?
Right. Australia was dragging people out into the street and putting them in.
I don't.
Because if someone comes to my house from the government knocking on my door and going to try and drag me out, I don't think that's going to work out for them.
It's not going to work out for.
Not during.
Well, it's not going to work out for a lot of Americans across the country. They're not going to put up with that stuff.
that's like a liberal. Like there's a woman who was a single mother who had a newborn baby, and these 3 thugs were trying to kick her door in. She shot him through the door with her handgun, killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's a defensive, law-abiding citizen who had a gun.
And then the families of the
On a sewer.
want a sewer. Yeah.
He was a good boy.
And they were armed too.
They had all 3 had guns. He didn't do nothing.
Yeah. So
That's-
he's breaking into your house. He's armed, and you kill him in self-defense, and somehow you're the problem?
Yep.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, Chicago, back to Chicago. Chicago has lost its ever-loving mind, and Trump says he will deploy National Guard to Chicago, but he doesn't say when. He's specifically keeping that quiet. This is from ABC News.
Should make it a surprise. Confetti come down.
He told President Trump told reporters that he would deploy National Guard troops to Chicago, but didn't say when. He said, quote, well, we're going in, Trump said in the Oval Office when he was asked if he made a decision on the matter after days of threats and warnings. But the president gave no timeline or specifics, quickly adding, I didn't say when we're going in. Now, didn't he do something when he bombed the hell out of the Iranian nuclear plants? Remember he said something like, we got
within the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks or something, 2 weeks, a 30-day window, something like that, whatever it was, 12. It was the very next day. So he's probably going to go in, or even by the time this thing airs, he's probably going to have gone in. Let me get to one of our sponsors real quick. LifeWave is the non-transdermal patch that allows your body to produce its own natural pharmacy through light energy. The X39 patch tells your body to emit heat in the form of light, which reflects back into your body, elevating a certain copper peptide. Now, this peptide activates your stem cells, which are the only type that can move throughout your body to heal inflammation. LifeWave offers an affordable membership and has a history of wellness that spans over 20 years. It's been around since 2004 to help organizations like SEAL Team 6 and the Olympic swim team to stay awake and alert. So today, these non-addictive patches are used by thousands of athletes and military professionals. LifeWave is available in over 80 countries, giving millions the opportunity of maximum wellness. So for more information, testimonials, patents, and studies, go to naturalpatchlife.com. All right. I wanted to move on to, I think we have a knuckle sandwich.
There it is.
Leftists have become so brainwashed, and the funny part is the policies they support often conflict with each other. So in this next clip, you'll see an example of exactly that. This leftist in this clip is caught between her hatred for white people, of which she is one, and her hatred for deportation. She actually advocates for the deportation of herself. Did you send this clip? Did you? I don't know if this was you, but
yeah, I probably sent it. I know who you're talking
so
about.
she actually advocates for the deportation of herself. This is funny. Watch this.
Deportations have begun.
The only ones that should be deported are the white people because no white people actually belong in this country.
So where are you going?
So where are you going?
Where you go? Just like when they say we should take care of the illegal immigrants. Okay. Well, you going to have them in your house?
Nope. So where are you going?
Where are you going?
You know, she was like,
Well, another one is they say these liberals will say all white people have inherent racism. So you ask them, well, so how are you racist?
well, I'm not.
Oh, everybody but me. They are the most racist
Knuckle
people.
sandwich.
I thought that was funny. Give her a knuckle sandwich.
Knuckle sandwich.
Here's another article from our friends over at New York Post. The Pentagon approves sending up to 600 military lawyers to serve as temporary immigration judges.
Let's go.
See ya.
The Defense Department will send 600 military lawyers to the Justice Department to serve as temporary immigration judges to resolve millions of backlogged cases, according to a memo. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a memo on August 27th, which declared a first tranche of 150 lawyers being sent to DOJ as soon as practicable. Practicable in order to resolve immigration cases, which have backing a backlog of 3.5 million cases.
And that's what they've been saying, right? There's not enough judges and lawyers to take care of all these people.
Well, that's what the Democrats wanted. They were banking on that.
There you go.
So I saw a clip with Candace Owens talking to some idiot about, people wanting to be boys and girls being boys, whatever, transgender. And remember the white girl that worked for the NAACP when she was black? She transitioned to black.
Oh,
she had the curly hair. She
hair.
darker. She was actually blue-eyed blonde.
Dolazar. What was her name?
I don't remember her name, but she
What is her name, Danny? Dolazal. Yeah.
So she remember how she identified as black, right? And this guy's like, well, that's not the same. She goes, it is the same. She felt that she was black, so she transitioned into a black woman. He goes, that's not the same as a man. She goes, it is. It's the same thing. He goes, what are you talking about? She's like, do you not understand the concept? Well, it's still not the same. These people are so crazy on the left. They can't understand something that's totally the same.
Well, just the idea that, I can understand if you're a tranny and you want to dress up, if you're a guy and you want to dress up like a girl. Okay, so I understand that. Do your thing.
That's fine.
Nobody really cares. But the idea that that these leftists are actually making an argument that you can literally change from a man to a woman.
Yeah. I say this every time.
So
if you put 100 trans women and 100 men on an island in 100 years, what are you going to have, Dan?
Nothing.
200 dead men. That's all you're going to have is 200 dead men. And they can't seem to understand that. Listen, you can play dress up all the time. You can fold your wiener into a muffin, whatever you want to do. But you are not.
The old wiener into a muffin trick.
You're never, ever, ever going to give birth. You're never going to have ovaries, and you're not going to have a period. But these crazy people were putting blood inside of them and squeezing it on the side and having they were having periods.
Gives the appearance of a period.
Oh my God.
That's insane. That's pure insanity.
I've never heard of anything like that. All right.
Well, along a parallel line, I heard somebody say today.
What could possibly be parallel to that?
Well, somewhat parallel, not really, but in the same vein, is that
vein. He used the word vein.
How come? You're pretty quick on the uptake there, Dan.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
How come cross-dressers do story time for kids but never volunteer at hospitals and hospices to read to the old people? How come they only do it to kids? What's up with that?
Because they're trying to condition the next generation.
Think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But hey, that's okay.
It's okay by me.
It's a shame. It really is a shame that these people believe this stuff.
But that's the fact that that's even a mainstream discussion is insane.
I just love how they think that a man who becomes a woman can give birth. And then when you ask, like Charlie Kirk asks, what is a woman?
Yeah.
These idiots cannot tell you what a woman is.
Right.
Well,
they know that it's an adult female human being, but they can't say that. Because if they say that, then they're admitting that
But can't even open the door, right?
Right.
Can't even open
so they
the
have
door.
to say a woman is someone who feels like a woman.
they're like this. Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
No. Anyway, Danny's wrapping us up. Any last thoughts? Is that it?
Shoot back.
Shoot back. Well, thanks for watching the show on Rumble, YouTube, our new network, Spreely. Check out Spreely.com and all our podcast platforms that we're on. We're happy to be on all these networks, and we hope you check out the show. And thanks to our sponsors. And also, my name's Dan Wass. Remember that the Second Amendment is not a privilege. It's your right.